Hey, I'm back. Two in one day. I said I would show you some of the things that I did for the craft show. I also have an order that's finally going to get picked up tomorrow, so I thought I'd show you that. First, the order. First is this baby. I'm going to put the link to the pattern. I kind of made her my own, but the basic pattern, I will put the link when I edit my video. I'm still learning how to do all this. So I'll post it and then eventually there'll be a link to the pattern for the doll. I like her a lot. This is the colors she liked. So that is going to go to my friend Sharon Hatch, along with some others. Let's see. And then this baby, same basic pattern. They're Sleepyhead dolls. I think that's the name of them. But I'll give you the link. And then I kind of made this up in my head by myself by looking at a picture. It's her name's Scrump. She's based on it's based on the doll named Scrump from Lilo and Stitch. I think she's really cute. I like voodoo dolls, so yeah, it's pretty adorable. And then she had ordered pumpkins because I had gone through this. Well, it was getting fall time, and fall is my favorite season. I love Halloween. I love Thanksgiving. I love fall. So I was doing a bunch of pumpkins, and she had ordered a set of three, a purple, which you really can't see. It's more of a plum. That's what she wanted, was plum. This looks real dark, but it's not. It's not a dark. It's a bright, plummy purple color. The orange. I like this. I like the colors I used on um the stem. This is a nice kind of muted orange, kind of a pumpkiny orange. Orange is kind of, pumpkins are kind of bright, but I like this. It's kind of a muted orange. It's a little brighter than what it's showing on the video. And then there's this one that's a cream colored with a variegated stem. And so those three go together. She had ordered those. And so I hope she really enjoys them. Sharon's a very sweet lady. I've known her for quite a few years. And then the weird story is that we come to find out just recently, because we've been Facebook friends since we met first. The first was I was doing some infusions for my RA, and she was my nurse. Well, we found out though just recently, because we stayed Facebook friends. I don't do the infusions anymore, and she doesn't work there, but we realized that she was at the hospital when my twins were born. And yeah, you can deliver a lot of babies, whatever. It was memorable because one of my twins was, she was born breech, and she wasn't breathing because the cord had wrapped around her bottom. And so it made it memorable for many, many people, I'm sure. And she remembered my twins. So she was actually there the day my twins were born. So I thought that was pretty cool. She also knew my niece Delilah, who was born with trisomy 18. She was working at the hospital at the time. And my niece was an amazing little girl who only lived to be a year and a half, but she touched a lot of lives. So that order is for Sharon. She's a very sweet lady who's been through a lot in her life, and I would tell you, but that's her story. I don't share other people's stories. If she told me I could, but she's just, and so the holidays are coming. That was something I was going to talk about. I'll touch on it later too. Especially if you've lost people. A lot of people get holiday depression. It's got some technical name, I think, but I call it holiday depression. I love the holidays, but I still get depressed this time of year. Um, I never used to. I think it started when my dad passed 21 years ago. In 99, he passed. Um, it started then, and then last year was my worst year yet because it was my first year without my mom. So I think about Sharon on the holidays because she lost somebody very close to her. And I know the holidays are hard for her. We've discussed it. So anyway, enough about that, about her stuff, but I'm hoping she loves all of her things that I made for her. I made, let's see, I took this to the craft show, but it's also for an order since it didn't, well, anyway, so she ordered this and she wanted it Dallas Cowboy colors, and I've still got to put the star on it. But I think I did pretty good. She wanted it big for a big head, which I told you I have a big head. So I'm pretty sure it's going to fit. But I like the way I did the colors. I think it came out good for Dallas Cowboy. I don't even watch football. So, and I know some people love the Cowboys and then other people hate them. I have no opinion because I don't do football. But I think the hat came out nice. And then I have a surprise that goes with them that maybe I'll remember to post after I give it to her because it's her birthday on November 14th, I believe. And so I made something to go with it as a birthday present since she ordered the beanie. Then I made something to go with it as a birthday present. So maybe I'll remember to show you those. And maybe not because my memory is so great. And then I made scrunchies, or they say that scrunchies are in again. In the 80s, we used 80s or 90s. We wore scrunchies a lot. And then they're apparently really popular again. And I love the scarves that are made with the sachet yarn, but I don't like making them. They're beautiful. And for those people that make them, they are gorgeous. But I don't like making the scarves. So I was making scrunchies, and I thought, I bet I could use the sachet yarn. Because at our Dollar Tree, they have sachet yarn a lot. They just started having regular yarn, but they were having sachet yarn. And so I've made a few different colors, but I don't know where they are right now. They're in my tote, I think. I have a tote for my craft fair, but I just made this one today, and it's silver. And it is I think it's beautiful. I may wear this one. I may keep this somewhere. I love the way it sparkles at the ends. I made my niece Melody some for her birthday. But I just think they're really cute. And they are super easy to make and really quick. This will probably be a tutorial I will make eventually. But I just think they're really pretty. And so if you wear ponytails, that's something. Or they show on the crochet, some of the patterns for scrunchies. You can wear them for bracelets. I don't know. I might. Like that would look pretty for Christmas, huh? Like silver, green, and red. There's an idea. But if you want a different color, I don't know how you would do that in your hair, putting all three of them in. But like wear them for bracelets, but mostly for hair. These are scrunchies, and you can make quite a few out of one little skein of the sachet yarn. This is what I used. It's real pretty, sparkly, shiny silver, and there's the label. Boutique Sachet Sparkle is the name. If you can see that, because I know it's blurry because I'm using my laptop. And it shows you the scarf, and I think it does have the pattern for this scarf. But like I said, I don't really like making them. Just not my thing. I get frustrated and tangled up, but I like the scrunchies. What was next? Oh yeah, I saved this for last. This is a hat that I made for the craft show. Okay, I really loved it, and it's some baby blanket yarn, but it's like mini, or it's not as thick as some. Like you can see, I pulled up a loop. It's not as thick as some, and it's the bean stitch. It's a slouch hat that I'm gonna put the link to Jada in Stitches. She's the one that I followed the tutorial to make the hat. And so I don't know how to find the link to the exact video, but I will put the link to her YouTube. And if you want to make one, if you know how to crochet, this, I love it. It's super soft. And then I used some yarn that I got given or something, and it was real feathery. And I used it, I mixed it in for the band. And so my thoughts were, is if it didn't sell at the craft fair, I was going to keep it because it's really warm and soft, and I was just excited about it. It doesn't fit on my big head. So then I was like, well, I'll save it for the next craft fair. But someone hit me up about it and has bought it, so it will be on its way to someone soon. Um, I'll show you what it looks like on apparently a normal size head or whatever. Kind of, sort of. You really can't tell because this is not a person. But I wanted a pom-pom on it. I thought it'd be real cute with a pom-pom, and I think the one she made had a pom-pom. But I couldn't find a pom-pom this color. You cannot make a pom-pom out of this yarn. Or maybe you can, but I didn't even want to try. And I didn't have enough of this to make a pom-pom. I had looked for they have some fur-looking ones. I don't have any right next to me. That you can get at Hobby Lobby. So I ran and I got one, a fur one, okay? Thinking this was white. And I got home and put it close to it and realized this is an off-white. So the pom-pom is no way, no, it doesn't go. But it looks good without it, I think. And I love the way it came out, and the person that is going to receive it is going to love it because it is really warm and soft. And I love soft, and warm is always a good thing. Here in New Mexico, the wind blows like crazy. You New Mexicans know this. And to cover up your ears. And so the band's extra thick because it has the 2 yarns. And then this is thick, even though it's got a, So that's that. Like I said, I'll put the links to Jada and Stitches and the link to the YouTube channel for the Sleepyhead baby. I will put those in the description when I go. I'm going to probably post it and then go back and edit and add, if it'll let me. If not, I'll put them in a later on one, but I'll give a shout out to Jada and Stitches. She has the cutest laugh. I followed her a while back and then never really watched her videos. I was just busy with life, and lately I've sat down and watched a lot of different YouTubers' videos for crochet, and she's one that I enjoy a lot. And that hat came out real cute. I just really love it. I will always try to share the links, so for the people who do crochet, you can watch them. For the people I'm gonna learn that are gonna be learning to crochet, you can always go check it out and see if you can follow along, even if I haven't gotten you up to that point. Sometimes they explain things very well, and even if you're not a very seasoned crocheter, you can still follow along, which is wonderful. Okay, so on to seasonal depression. Like I said, I get it. Last year was really hard. I didn't put a tree up. I didn't want to do Christmas. I didn't want to do Thanksgiving. My first birthday without my mom, which is in March, I spent in bed all day. I told myself I needed to get up and do stuff. My mom wouldn't want me, but I couldn't. There's nothing wrong with that. If you know that you need downtime, then you should take downtime. You shouldn't sit there and wallow in it, because eventually you're going to find yourself so you can't get up and you can't deal with life. But it is okay to take time when things are just really rough. And my mom was my very best friend. This year, I'm still sad. I dread January. Well, I get seasonal depression, and then I dread January because my dad's birthday was January 7th and he passed away on January 15th. So January is a really crappy month for me. So not only am I dreading the holidays, but I'm dreading all the way up to January. And then year before last, well, no, this year actually, my aunt, because it was in January, so it was right after 2019 started. My aunt passed away. So January is just an awful month. Um, but this year we have a home that we're buying now, and we're I'm a little more excited about the holidays. I got to figure out where to put my tree because my living room is so small. I don't really have room for it, and if I put it down on the floor, my big monster dog Ziggy that you may see on video someday, she will knock it down, eat it. She eats everything she's not supposed to. So I've got to figure out where to put the tree. But I really want a tree. I want to do lights. I want to go all out. We'll just see if I have the energy for it. Not just seasonal depression, but I told you my beginning video that I'm bipolar. There's a movie. It's the last movie we went to the theater to watch because we are big movie buffs. We love to watch movies. LJ and I do. We watched Joker, the Joker. Well, you think, what do you think? Batman, villain, whatever, superheroes. That's what you think of when you think of the Joker. But this was not at all. This was not at all the superhero Joker. Well, he's not the superhero, but not the one linked to. He links to Batman, but it tells it in a different story and a different light. Um, and people haven't watched it, so I'm not going to go into detail. But some people really didn't like it because it was dark, is the way they looked at it. But if you have ever dealt with mental illness, I think that you have a different perspective on it because it's the reality of it. Just saying. Mental illness isn't all, well, it's not rainbows and sunshine, and it's just not. And so if you're watching it because you're like, oh, the Joker from Batman, and I wonder if Batman will be in it, and it's not the movie for you if that's what you're really wanting. But if you go and watch it with an open mind and know that dark things in life happen, it's okay. I really loved it. I love Joaquin Phoenix. I think he does amazing in all his movies. My second, that is now either, that's tied with Walk the Line. Those are my two favorite Joaquin Phoenix movies. I love those two. I think he really digs into his characters and does an amazing job. So he's one of my favorite actors, and those are two. Joker is now one of my two favorite movies of his. Walk the Line, where he played Johnny Cash, I love that movie. That one too it dealt with Johnny Cash's demons, and I think that's why I related to it. I liked it a lot. I don't know where else to go with that except for that just know that if you get to feeling bad, and it's some people have seasonal depression, sometimes it's certain times of the year. Um you lost a loved one, something traumatic happened to you. A lot of people want you to be quiet and shut your mouth. I don't keep my mouth shut. I tell people I'm crazy all the time. And I'm one of these people, if you ask me how I am, usually we pass by and we say, oh, how are you today? We don't really want to know how that person is. We want them to say, I'm okay, and go on. I really will listen to how you are. So don't lie to me, because a lot of times I'll know if you're not okay. And if you know someone that you haven't heard from in a while, in fact, I feel real bad because a friend of mine just messaged me and I've been busy. And every day for the last 3 or 4 days, I hadn't heard from her. We text, not every day, but I don't ever go very long without hearing from her. And I hadn't heard from her. She hadn't been on Facebook. And I got a text from her saying she was having a hard time. And I feel really bad because I did think about her. And I hope she watches this. I won't say her name. I hope she watches it and knows that I'm talking about her. I did think about her and I told myself I need to message so and so. But I was always in the middle of something and I would completely space it out. So I'm glad she messaged me, tell me she was okay and that she was having a hard time, because it's good. Sometimes it makes you feel better just to tell somebody you're doing bad. I know that sounds ridiculous to some people, but just once you say those words like I'm having a hard time, it makes it a little better. Not all the way better, but just to have let that out, because a lot of people expect you, like I said, how are you? People don't really want to know most of the time. And they want you to hide your feelings and they want you to pretend like you're okay. And that's not loving somebody and that's not helping them by expecting, a lot of people will suck it up and just smile and it'll be okay. You have a great life. I have a very blessed life. I have a wonderful husband. I have great kids. I don't need for anything. I have wonderful, wonderful friends, a great family, my sisters, my nieces, my nephew. I have all of that. I can wake up every day and tell myself I'm blessed because I know I am. But my brain lies to me. Once my feet hit the floor, sometimes even before my feet hit the floor, my brain is lying to me and telling me that I am worthless. And there was a time when my brain even convinced me that everybody would be better off without me. I'm not the only one that's felt that way. It wasn't true. My kids wouldn't have been better without me. And my mom would have suffered for a very long time because I had a cousin who passed. He took his own life, and my aunt, until the day she passed, missed him and did not. She felt like she had done something wrong. So I'm so glad that I'm still here and that I didn't put my mom through that. But when I tried to end it and my brain was lying to me, I couldn't see the truth, and it didn't matter who said it to me. So, I am on Facebook. You can add my Manic Mama Creations page on Facebook and message me. If you go through something and you feel like you don't have anybody, and I mean anybody to talk to, I'll even put my email when I edit this. You are welcome to message me. I may not know you, but like I said, half of feeling better is getting it out, saying you're not okay. And it be someone that listens to you and instead of someone that just spaces it out or tries to tell you how to fix it. I've tried to fix bipolar with a lot of things. We won't go into details about them, but it led to some really dark places. And now I just deal with it and I accept it and I tell people I'm crazy. And I am in therapy and I do EMDR and it has helped me a lot. I have some really great friends who love me even in my dark times. In fact, I have one friend that says when I'm depressed, I am funnier than any other time. That's kind of sad that I'm funny when I'm depressed, but as we can see with Robin Williams, depressed people sometimes are really funny because they're trying to cover up everything that they feel. I'm probably not as funny now because I don't try to hide my depression. So I don't like make jokes to cover it up. I'm kind of depressing to other people now because I just tell them life sucks. I hate life. I'm sad. I, I want to choke somebody. But I feel better and I don't do anything to hurt anyone. And so if it makes me feel better and I'm not hurting anybody, then that's a good thing and it's not destructive for me. Whereas drinking, drugs, sex, lots of other things are very destructive that people try to deal with their mental illness with. So, okay, I think I've touched on that enough. But it is what it is, and it's that time of year, and so people be a little more kind. It's weird how the holidays is supposed to be love and joy and people are meaner and grumpier around the holiday times a lot of times than they are all the way through the year. Why is that? Like, you're singing jingle bells and dashing, talking about dashing through the snow and jolly old Saint Nicholas, and then turn around and just are mean and ugly and selfish, and we should be nicer to people all the time, but especially this time of year because there's some people who can't deal with it. My dad hated Christmas. I think it was partly his childhood, but he hated Christmas. And I think now he was sad during Christmas, but he was mean to us because he was sad. So there you go. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. It's whatever. I look really tired. It probably is because I am. I have fought a headache off. I get migraines every season change. And so far we got our first snow, I think like the middle of October. It got real cold for quite a few days. Then it has been up and down and up and down, and my sinuses are wreaking havoc on my head. So I'm looking kind of okay. Well, I don't look great any day, but I've got some real bad bags under my eyes. Um, I'm hoping I want LJ to figure out how to put some of his music at the beginning of my videos so you guys can start enjoying it. And then I'll start sharing his link to his page and whatnot. It's called KBX. There's a story behind that name that I will tell you another time. It's not for sensitive people because it's funny, but it's part of how our relationship works. So I will share that another time once I play some of his music and maybe get to know me and LJ's relationship a little better. He's the love of my life. And so I want to add that. I want to include some people in my videos, my friends, my niece Kirby crochets. So I would love to get her on tape, on video, crocheting or having a chat with me or something. Um, who else? Oh, and then I told you I want to start advertising. I did my first one for the tea shop earlier. And I looked for a website for them. So if they have one and Sheila's watching, hit me up so I can put a website if you have one. Um, and then the next video, whatever it happens to be, uh, that's not a tutorial, I will probably advertise for someone else here in Clovis, local. I will share lots of crochet channels that I enjoy. I will be sharing those um, businesses. When I go out of town, if I go somewhere great, I'm going to share it with you guys because we share the bad too much, not the good. I believe you should let out your feelings, but when it comes to other people, now if somebody does you real dirty, like it's a terrible business, there's nothing wrong with saying they did a horrible job. But as humans, we share more of the ugly stuff than we ever tell someone, good job. That was great. Never had service like that before. Whatever. We don't do that often enough. I tell if I see cashiers, just beautiful people, I tell them they're beautiful that day. My waitress, you're beautiful, or you're sweet, or you have a beautiful smile, or I try to give somebody a compliment. Think about that. Like how much nicer the world would be if we told people nice things about themselves instead of all the ugly. Because I've heard a lot of ugly in my life about me. That's not for a video, but I have. And I believed it for a very long time. And now I'm trying to believe different, and I try to tell other people different about themselves. Because there's a lot of people that were not raised to love themselves. So, my mom always loved me and believed in me. Don't think I'm talking about her because God rest her soul. She loved me when I didn't love myself. She loved me when I don't think anybody else loved me. So, I had a great mom. That's why she was my best friend. I'm getting all sappy, so I'm gonna go because I think it's because I'm tired, or at least that's the excuse I'm gonna use. Um, I hope you enjoyed the finished projects I shared with you. Um, I hope that you will check out the links that I add here and I'll post it, then I'll go in and try to edit it. If it doesn't get added in, just know that I will try to get my husband, because he's at work right now, to help me add those in, because I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning. But if you if I don't get it added in, look for her on YouTube. Jada, Jada, and then an N, and then stitches. And that's where I did the beanie, and she has a lot of good tutorials. And I'm telling y'all, listen to her laugh. It is the cutest laugh ever. And then I'll try to get the doll done, um, the link, and then I don't know how to say her name. So I'll have to type the name in if I can't get the link posted, okay? So I'll add that in the description. Have a good night. Tomorrow or the next day, depending on how I'm feeling, because like I said, I got this headache starting, and sometimes they last for days. I will try to do my first tutorial. I'm going to do just the basic crochet chain, the foundation chain. I'm going to do that for those that are learning to crochet. Thank you. Have a good night and be kind to somebody.